Hello, folks. Welcome back to Reality Check with Arvind Swaminathan. I do apologize for taking so long in coming back, but I've had some serious problems. Today, we'll talk about the health care system, especially the private health care system in India. Folks, you can see I'm a little different. There's a reason for this. You see, for years, what has happened is this happens every time I've had a serious illness. Because what are hair and your nails? Basically, they're very high protein. And if you keep shaving, you're cutting off that growth all the time and it's growing back quickly. All that protein, which your body needs for recovery, is now being thrown out. Hence this. Whether you like it or not, I'm sorry, you're stuck with it for a while. Now, the reason, as I said, I was late was some serious health problem. It was something which occurred badly in 1993. It happened again, much worse this time. And I was admitted to one of the leading chain of private hospitals. And this video is inspired by what happened there. It goes back not just to this one, but even earlier times, when I almost felt as if I was being victimized by the medical profession. For some reason, I can't understand. Why do they always pick on me? Now, my problem, as I said earlier, it occurred earlier, but this time it was a particularly severe attack of ulcerative colitis. Now, I couldn't understand why it was. I was admitted into one of the hospitals in a leading chain, private hospital, needless to say. And what happened there made me wonder. Because first of all, I was admitted into the surgery section or the surgery ward. I couldn't understand why. Because surgery was not the answer to this, to my problem. And I just could not understand why. However, I went in, they did all sorts of tests, and they wanted a few more, and I said, no way, nothing doing, I've had enough. Now, at the end of some of these tests, they told me that my insides were all inflamed. 1.5 meters of my intestinal tract was so horribly inflamed that they might have to do surgery, at which point I said, no way, are you going to operate on me? Now, this went on for a couple of days, and they kept saying inflammation, until the day I asked them, is it inflammation or dilation? The moment I used the word dilation, the doctor seemed to understand no further things about operations. They began to understand all this, but what they did was, they just wouldn't give me the sort of medicine to make it any easier. And they wouldn't do anything to bring the dilation down. Because dilation is done with using medicines and it has to be reversed. If not, all sorts of silly things happen. Now, with all this going on, I began to suspect all the silly things which I'd heard. Inflated bills, huge bills, taking you for a ride and taking you for all the money they can get out of you. This started going through my mind. And this is normal commercialization of everything. Especially when most of them knew or seemed to know that I was a gastro case, not a surgery case. Now, once that happened, they began to get a little worried. They shifted me, at my request, to another room. No more talk about surgery, but it's just that the treatment given did not alleviate the problem. It just made it worse. Now, this problem, colitis, is what happens at a later stage of a more common problem, which is hemorrhoids or piles. And piles is a direct cause of overeating on wheat gluten. This is a problem which millions of people suffer from, not just in India, but also in Europe and the US, because the new varieties of wheat are very high in gluten. The old varieties were 6 to 8, 9% protein, which is wheat gluten. Today's varieties are 14 to 16%. Now, we think this is a great thing, very good, balanced, more protein, so it's better for you, and so on. But unfortunately, most of us are not capable of handling this high level of gluten. That is where all this comes out. Now, it is something for conjecture. Do doctors understand this or not? Because if they did, why is there such a huge market for your your gels and your tablets and such treatment, and even surgery for hemorrhoids, when it is actually a dietary problem, not a medical problem. Why did I wonder? Why was I in surgery? Because this is not a surgery problem, it is a dietary problem. Now, how I managed to get this, I can't understand, unless some of the proprietary brands of cereals that I was eating, instead of corn, for instance, may have had wheat, which is the only thing which I can understand. Or was it the one weakness which was triggered off by a total lack of salt at the end of a very hot summer, and I forgot to take extra salt. Now, once we understand all this, so little time or so little surgical care is needed. Unfortunately, it would make a mess of the easy money which a lot of hospitals can make, and they do make. Now, why are they like this? Why do they behave like this? Well, let's put it this way. Until recent times, there were only about 7 institutes of medical science in this country after 60 odd years of independence. In the last 6 or 7 years, this has gone up to about 23, and hopefully they're aiming to put up about 50 of these all over the country. The reason being, there are too few of these medical centers and far too many patients. Everybody comes into these places from all around Delhi, for instance, or all around any of the other major centers. Result is the system is stretched to overload, way overload. As a result, they start overcharging, especially if you go to private hospitals. Government hospitals, people have to wait and wait and wait. Private hospitals, they go in, surgery is done, but there is a backward thing too. It means you have to pay through the nose or in blood or whatever it is, whichever way you want to look at it. Result, all these tales which we've heard, that private hospitals overcharge and go on overcharging. Now, why is it that this particular chain of hospitals has actually come up? Simply because government has been very lax throughout this country, and there are very few of these facilities. Whether they are state-owned or state-run, free hospitals, or small charge or minimum charge hospitals, there are too few of them. And governments have not taken care to add any, certainly not in the last first 60 years or so. Result, anybody who gets something, he either goes to government hospital where he has to go on waiting, or he goes to a private hospital, especially a large one, which overcharges. As an example, I happened to have a big abscess. The moment I was taken to one of these private hospitals, they said surgery, general anesthesia, and obviously that meant staying in there because I couldn't go home. There's nobody to look after me. Therefore, they put me through all this. And what was it? I found out later, it was an allergy reaction to ginger. All it needed was maybe 100 rupees worth of an antihistamine, which would have cured it inside a week. And yet, I had to go through this full surgical operation in a hospital. Now, let me illustrate this with my own example, using myself as a case study. 2009, how did I know? When I was admitted to hospital, the same problem. I knew it was the same problem, which meant toilet 10, 12 times a day, blood every time. On the second day, I told the doctor, look, the chapatis are horrible. Either they're raw or uncooked or something. Give me rice for a change. The doctor didn't seem to like the idea, but he listened. And almost like magic, the problems are gone overnight. That is what told me that it is wheat and wheat gluten that's causing this. Now, there's no other way of finding out except if you relate these things, you begin to understand what has happened. That is why I've said in an earlier video, whenever something like this happens, note it, write it down, remember it. Because if you don't, every new time somebody is going to take you for a ride. And you may not like the idea, but it will happen. So now let's get back to why does this happen in the private healthcare industry? Why is it so expensive? Well, for one thing, why is there a need for private healthcare? Because successive governments, be they central, state or local, municipal, they have neglected this horribly. Now, the moment you neglect it with our population, the chances of needs are huge. In our, call it psyche if you like, we have been almost brainwashed by Hindi movies. Years ago, even in villages, a man would come to a doctor and say, "Give me an injection," because to him that was the cure-all. But in the last 30 years or so, almost every time you see a Hindi movie, there's an accident, or there's a disease, or a bullet wound, or a stab wound. Operation, everything is fine. Result, people expect operations. Now, if you go on expecting operations for every little thing, you think of the strain it puts on the existing medical facilities, which, to say the least, are very rudimentary, or way below what we really need. Once you understand this, and you know there's such a huge lacuna, there is a big demand for private healthcare, and people go into it. How and why? Well, the huge amounts of investments needed to put up a hospital. I mean, a 150 to 200 bed hospital, how much would it need? 400 to 500 crores to set up, get all your facilities in there, the machinery, the investigative machinery, the operating theatres, the beds, the staff, the air conditioning, the doctors, the nurses, the surgeons, you name it, and the medicines, plus the OPD section. Now, once you understand why do people go in for this, there is so much money that they put in, they're not going to do it just for, out of being helpful to the people. If they put in money, they expect a lot of money to come back out. It's a business, nothing short of it. And once you begin to understand that it is now a business, you begin to understand why people charge so much, especially the private hospitals. Plus, why do they always go in for operations? Because we've got it at the back of our minds, operation means you get cured. What we don't understand is, as I found in my own case, people expect operation, but my case did not need any operation. So why was I in the operating ward? In fact, one of the doctors there asked me, "What are you doing in this ward? You're a gastro case, not a surgical case. Why are you in the... You should be in the gastro ward." This is because so much has been invested, the doctors are so much more highly paid than in government hospitals. They are on targets, just like any company, whether they are sales reps or salesmen or what have you, they all operate on targets. Now, these doctors obviously also are on targets. They must do so many operations every day. If they don't, where does the money come from? So, unless governments, be they state, municipal or central, they put up medical facilities to cope, you will have this. There's no getting away from it. And wherever you are, if you have any way of getting around this or getting hold of the authorities to take note of this and do something, please go ahead. COVID-19 has already set the trend. There are many more medical facilities today than there were before COVID-19. But it's not just COVID-19, there are a whole lot of other problems which need to be looked at. Now, if nothing is done about it, we go back to the same thing. Private trade will fleece the public. Because the private trade is in it for the money. It's a business. It's not an altruistic performance that, okay, we must give back. Very few people do that. They can't afford to when their own money is involved. Well, folks, please take care of yourselves. Getting sick in this country is a very expensive hobby. Now, whether you go into a public hospital or a private sector hospital, which may be large or small, it's still an expensive business. Always take a second opinion. It doesn't matter which one you go for a second opinion, but always take it before you commit. Also, please don't take silly risks, like don't drive when you're drunk, otherwise you'll end up for an operation. I hope you've enjoyed this one because it is important for all of us. May I wish you a very, very happy New Year. Please take care of yourselves. God bless. And I'll try and do one video every month because, well, I don't want to lose touch with you folks. Thank you very much for listening. If you've liked it, please press the like button and the subscribe button. Don't forget that. That's very important. And as I said earlier, may I wish you a very happy New Year.